Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Tarot with Titania reading of the week for August 9th to the 16th, 2024. I invite you to close your eyes and take 3 nice deep breaths with me so that we can pull our energy into sync across time and space. And on that third exhale, I invite you to imagine a tree root coming down out of the base of your spine, knowing that this tree root is providing you with a beautiful grounding that holds you in Mother Earth in a wonderful way that is supportive of your highest good, as well as providing you with a conduit through which anything that no longer serves you can easily pass down into Mother Earth and become compost for your new good growth. Creator, this is your daughter Titania, and I am here with your children about to do the reading of the week for August 9th to the 16th, 2024. My intention is to be a clear channel for the information we most need to receive this week, and to provide this in a manner that we will easily and effortlessly hear, understand, and integrate for our well-being and the well-being of anyone whose life we touches, and the good of this planet, our home. I call upon my higher self and the higher selves of all of those listening now and in the future, as well as an overlighting angel of communication, to be present to facilitate this exchange and ensure that it happens in the highest and best way possible, and that we cover all that is in our personal and collective heart and mind at this time to our satisfaction in this window that we have together here today. I'd like to invite the 4 archangels to come and hold the 4 directions around us across time and space, creating a beautiful unified field of light and love, healing, transformation, insight, peace, grounding, safety. Whatever is uppermost in your field that you need, may it be held here in a good way for your good, the good of those you love, and the good of this beautiful planet and all life on her. Anything that doesn't match these frequencies and intentions is welcome to go now. Okay, let's get started, shall we? So, Creator, here we are gathered once again. What is it that we most need to know this week so that we may be at our best in the highest service, bringing our best to life? Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Okay. For our highest and greatest good, please, and the good of all life everywhere. I feel like I'm going to have to start again. Okay. No, I'm not. We are starting with the 6 of Wands, victory. We have this lovely leaping figure going over the flames in triumph, overcoming adversity, overcoming obstacles, overcoming that which was to be feared or was feared in the past but does no longer cause that fear. Overcoming and being victorious. That is the energy that's sitting in our recent past, this energy of generative potential that may have been blocked but is no longer. This is information that we need in our present, in our future, as we're going forward. We need to know that we can do this. We have experiences in our past when we've overcome obstacles that we thought were insurmountable. Perhaps fears that we had or beliefs that we held that didn't serve us and kept us from all of our goodness. And this card is reminding us that we've done this before. We know how to do it again. And it's important going into our present and into our future that we remind ourselves of our capacity to overcome and be victorious of the obstacles that we may have in our field right now. The next card, we have the Queen of Hearts. So queens and kings represent the maturation of their suit. They are the evolution of their suit, that energy of emotions, And the queen is the feminine aspect of that. And so very intuitive, deeply felt resonance with the fields of others, able to pick up on things as she enters a room. It doesn't have to be a woman, it can be a man. But these qualities of deep intuition, of deep felt understanding, of wisdom, of being able to empathize and comprehend where a person is coming from emotionally, and even support them into coming to a cleaner and clearer frequency and vibration if they're stuck somewhere low. But that's the energy of the queen. It's very intuitive, very, as I said, felt, very, it's not about the plan and working the plan, which would be more masculine qualities. It's the feminine energy of moving with, of going with the flow and the energy and flowing with the suggestion rather than having an overt or explicit plan. So this is sitting in the present environment. We're called to drop into our hearts and to navigate life from the heart chakra center, to feel our way rather than analyze our way. Especially now, we're needing to kind of come to the wisdom that's in our hearts. There is so much on the planet that is confusing, that is discombobulating, that is leaving us, whether deliberately or otherwise, in a position where we feel ungrounded and uncertain, and as a result, fearful. And this card is reminding us that we have everything that we need within us. Our connection to Source is within. And when we foster that connection, we have a heartfelt knowing of what is right for us. Remember, the body is the compass. The mind can wander here, there, and all over the place. It's one of its superpowers, but it is not helpful in these times when we're getting conflicting messages. We need to feel our way rather than think our way at this time. So this is what the Queen of Hearts is reminding us. We need to get into that feminine flow of energy. We all have it. We all have a masculine. We all have a feminine. We all have these aspects. They may be more developed or less developed, depending on who we are, how we've been, what we've been doing in life. But right now, at the moment, we're being reminded that this is the energy of the time. This is what we need to line up with. We need to get comfortable with our feminine nature and allow ourselves to feel our way, to listen to the heart, to listen to the calling of the heart and follow its subtlety and its voice. The near future, we have the Tower. And we know the Tower. We've had the Tower before. We will have the Tower again because of the times that we are living through. In fact, I think we just had the Tower this past week. So the Tower, key 16. The Tower is struck by the lightning of truth, and it is brought to its foundations because it was not built with integrity. It was not built to last. It was not built from truth. So as we are navigating the world and the changes and the transformations that we are living through, we're going to continue to see things that are out of integrity being brought to their foundations so that they can be rebuilt again from a strong, solid, authentic, congruent place for the greater good. Now, some of these structures served us in the past. That's not that they were bad or wrong, but we were different as a humanity. And we're different now. We're changing. And it's time for us to adjust and adapt, and the structures that hold us need to adjust and adapt with us. And it's a very natural thing when you're doing a kitchen renovation to have to pull the old one out before the new one can go in, to reference Pam Gregory's analogy to the times that we're living through. It's like we're going through a kitchen renovation in our collective human household, and we need to rip out the old kitchen to move on to get the new one installed. And that can be really upsetting. Our morning tea, coffee is not as accessible as it once was. There are things that are different, and we have to go through that discombobulation of the deconstruction phase and then the construction phase before we move on again in this beautiful new space. This is an analogy for humanity. It's where we are. There is a lot that is going on, a lot of, it's like the dial is going up on division energy, the dial is going up on separation energy, and I would encourage you to get lofty when you're watching the news, if you still watch the news, you might want to not watch it so often because it could be kind of off-putting. But if you do watch the news or you do watch things on social media, I invite you to ascend to your eagle's perch, to invite the broader, wiser part of you to see through your eyes and your heart so that you may understand from a broader perspective what is important to know at this time. So that we can all, if we adopt this practice, stay lofty, stay above the division, above the separation, find the unifying elements, lean into love, lean into understanding and compassion and kindness. And please don't misunderstand me. There are atrocities going on in the world. That high contrast is helping us to see that that's not okay. Those beings, those souls are going through that hardship, potentially for their own growth, but also, I think, from a higher perspective, to give us all an opportunity to say no more. And we will honor them and their offering more profoundly if we start to take that broader, wiser stance. Once again, not from a place of making wrong, but a place of potential and possibility and what is preferred. And I don't know about you, but for me, what is preferred is loving kindness, is holding each other in a positive way, is creating bridges rather than knocking them down. That's the energy that we need right now on this planet. We are all one family, one human family with different perspectives, and that can be really, really, really challenging. And we have a choice. Are we going to be a holder of love, a center of peace? And are we going to adopt that eagle's perch so that as we observe all this intensity of the old falling away, that we're able to stay in love, stay victorious, stay jubilant and striving for the good that is to come, to be a clearing for it within ourselves and calling it forth from each other. Really important. Foundation card, we had this one recently too, the work card. 3 of Pentacles. This is why we're having the reading this week. There is work to be done, and it doesn't have to be a slog. It can be a lovely time to spend time with someone whose company we enjoy, or if we don't enjoy it, at least we're open to having a conversation that might leave us in a different place than when we started. But this idea of companions coming together to do the work together, doing it well, doing the work of this planet, and having a lovely little bit of chat while we do it, gathering up what needs to be gathered, helping each other to carry the burdens, carrying them where they need to go, and potentially having a nice cup of tea or a beer afterwards. This lovely energy of coming together to do the work of transformation within, with each other, and on this beautiful planet to help her heal as well. Our beautiful mother. It is essential that we rise and we become mature and we no longer react like children on a schoolyard. We are all one. I can't say it enough. We are all one, and it's so difficult sometimes when we are in these human bodies to forget that we are the same. We are one energy having different experiences. And I guess part of those different experiences, what we're living through right here, right now, this belief that somehow I'm different than you and you're different than me because of what you believe or the clothes you wear or where you live or your practices. It just doesn't matter, really, ultimately. It's part of what we're being challenged to do, to rise above, to be emotionally mature, to be masters of the heart realm. And that means our own inner work. It's not just about being some magically fixed person who's got it all figured out because, well, as human beings, we're continually figuring things out. And it can be beautiful. We can have a good time along the way. It doesn't have to be devastating. This might be a little challenging because, well, it is upsetting to see the world crumble around us. But know that there are those who already have the blueprints, who already are building the new earth that we are longing to see. And I'm not talking about the World Economic Forum necessarily either. But there are people everywhere living in community, learning how to do community, helping to create what the new possibilities could be, what the new structures could be. There's a lot of energy going into that right now. And if you are a creative, I would love to invite you to help us envision the future, to help us envision what could be possible. Because there are a lot of dystopian visions of the future out there. And I don't know about you, but that's not the future I'm choosing to live into. We need more beauty, more possibility. And you who have creative hearts, I'm calling on you to help us as humanity see that possibility and that potential. Okay, so I think that's pretty clear. We know we can overcome. We have the generative creative potential to overcome our obstacles to get where we need to go. And we're moving in the right direction despite it being uncomfortable. Just remember, it's like a kitchen renovation. The old has to go, the new has to be installed, and then it can be cleaned up, the dust will settle, and you'll have this beautiful new space to exist in. And we are evolving, we're changing, we're coming from the heart more than ever, and we're going to do a lot of good work together. And it's going to be satisfying and fulfilling as we do that work. Okay, what's our card to grow on? Let's pull that one in. What do we need to know, Creator, for the coming week? How can we summarize the insights of this week's reading and carry them with us in our hearts and minds so we can be of highest service for the good that we can bring to the world and the clearing we can be for all that loveliness and well-being that we know is possible? What do we need to know, please? Our card to grow on is the anxiety card, the 5 of Pentacles. So we've seen this card before, maybe not as much recently, but the energy of the card is we have this man and this woman. They're out at night. It's dark. It's cold. They're looking for shelter. They've come to a structure which is all lit up and looks very promising, but something doesn't feel right. And rather than knock on the door, they've decided they are going to keep going on. They're going to go and look elsewhere for their shelter and their security for the night. Rather than this feeling of compromising, rather than compromising to end their discomfort, they're going to hold their core belief. There's something there that they're holding that is important to them that won't need to be compromised in order to have comfort if they choose to go ahead. This is kind of an interesting quality of energy because, of course, I think as humanity goes forward, we're going to have some interesting choices before us. Are we going to make the choice for the sake of comfort and the least inconvenience? Or are we going to make the choice of what is for the highest and greatest good of humanity, of future generations, of our highest expression, our highest freedom, our highest possibility space to evolve and become all that we are here to be? So we are going to be challenged. I don't know if it'll be right this week, but that is definitely playing out in the energy of the cards and in the energies of what we're seeing out in the world around us. But this card to grow on this week is just this awareness of pay attention to the anxiety. And I'm not talking about stewing in any anxiety that you have, but adopting once again that higher perspective. What am I anxious about? What am I concerned about? And what do I need to reassure myself about? And from that place of self-understanding, why are we having this anxiety? Why are we feeling uncomfortable? What feels off? Sometimes it's enough just to know that something feels off. I have a daughter, and I often encourage her to just pay attention to that awareness in herself. Something feels off, that's enough. You don't have to have a justification for it. You don't have to rationalize it. If it feels off, it is for you. And that's enough. Go and do what feels on. Don't keep moving towards what isn't good for you or isn't in alignment or doesn't feel congruent for you. And I think that's what we're learning here with this card, or what we have this week, is pay attention. Pay attention to how you feel. Don't discount it. Don't rationalize it. Don't talk yourself out of it. Pay attention and honor yourself, honor your gut feeling, honor your instinct. You can always take a deep breath, pull yourself to that loftier perspective, but understand that that feeling is there giving you information. So what information is it providing? That can be really helpful if you spend some time with it. So our card to grow on is, the name of the card is Anxiety. It's the Five of Pentacles. It's the earth element. It's paying attention to ourselves, paying attention to our instinct. We just saw the card in the present that's asking us to be led by the heart. We got to honor those feelings, that flow state, and give ourselves the space to grasp what it is that we're feeling. Maybe give it a name so that we can learn to comprehend ourselves more, and as a result flow differently in the world, because we're coming from a place of self-awareness. And when we do that, we can be compassionate and hold space for that in other people too, which serves all of us. So we're paying attention to how we feel this week. Very important. Hopefully that has been helpful for you. Okay, coming home to ourselves with that nice deep breath. Let's wrap up this week's reading. Please close your eyes, take a nice deep breath again. Creator, we thank you once again for this opportunity to gather, to pool our energy, to pool our hearts, our minds, our fields, and to call in the information that we most need at this time for our highest and greatest good. I'm grateful for all the support that we are receiving. I'm grateful for the transformation that is coming through our world, that is transforming us as individuals and as humanity, that is helping us to wake up, to become more aware, to become more conscious, to become more of a clearing for truth and honesty and wisdom and well-being. I'm grateful for the opportunities that are before us to work well with each other, to let our hearts lead, to find love and kindness and compassion, and to overcome the opposition and the division that we see in the world within, by healing the division within, and from that wholeness, being a clearing in the world for more unity, more love, more kindness, more respect, more tolerance, more well-being. I ask for insight and wisdom and guidance for ourselves, for our leaders, for all of us on earth at this time, that we may do this time of awakening to the best of our abilities, with all of our hearts, with all of our minds, with all of our spirits, with our bodies, with all of us, so that we do it well and we move things along in the most efficient way possible to our highest good. We send love and light to you. Thank you for being here. We send love and light to everyone on the planet who may be going through hard times, who may be suffering, who may be in a place of darkness. Please, as you go about this week, just hold the light and love within you. Your energy, your beacon of light is so helpful, so transformative. Even if it's just for 5 minutes a day, to the best of our abilities, if we can do that, we're helping to hold the whole field of humanity up a little bit higher. I wish you a beautiful week, and I'll look forward to seeing you next Friday. Take good care, and bye for now.